that on? You can see my screen. Okay. So this is lesson 4. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So today we want to talk about the concept of revelation. And we are discussing that for us as humans, the sources of knowledge that we have, that we briefly discussed before the recording of the meeting started, was that we have a knowledge through our senses. We acquire knowledge through our senses, and then we process that information through our intellect. But both of these are limited, and there are two types of knowledge. Ilm is of two types. Ilman. There is ilm of maybe easier. There is ilm al-adyan and there is ilm al-abdan. I'll write it, inshallah. Al-ilmu ilman. There are two types of knowledge. One is ilmul adyan, which is the acquired knowledge. Sorry, not acquired, revealed knowledge. Revealed knowledge, which is the wahi. And the other type of knowledge is ilmul abdan, which refers to the physical material knowledge. Material knowledge which is acquired. Acquired knowledge through our senses and our intellect. Yeah, so adyan. Ilmul adyan is revelation, right? Revealed knowledge. This is what wahi is all about. Abdan, ilmul abdan is limited, it is acquired. And adyan is absolute, perfect knowledge, because this is from Allah. So we appreciate, therefore, that there is a need for this wahi, because we are limited in what we will and what we can acquire. Yes? Although some people claim that, eventually we will find out. Okay, let's, for argument's sake, you will find out eventually, but I'm deprived of it now. Yeah? So Allah Ta'ala, He does not want to deprive anybody of this. Therefore, He has revealed it. And it is beyond our grasp anyway. Khair. So, the other thing is to understand the need for revelation is we need to appreciate who we are. We are the beings that have a nafs and a fitrah. The fitrah. Right? Fitrah has been given some initial knowledge and guidance, as we will see today, like the bee. It has been given some instinctive guidance, yeah, like the ants. Like the human being, we have instinctive guidance. We have a sense of morality. Yeah. We know something is good, something is bad. We have an appreciation for a higher being. Because when we are in trouble, we look up for help. Yes, instinctively. and we have a instinct of gratitude. We feel gratitude for things that we know are of benefit to us. This is our initial guidance mechanism, fitra. So we have the instincts, instincts, which are our initial guidance. However, these instincts are not in themselves able to absolutely decide what is right or wrong, absolutely decide who is the higher being and what is the nature of our relationship with that higher being, and how is it absolutely, what is the absolute way in which to manifest this instinct of gratitude. Is it clear? Any question about that? So on top of this fitra, so fitra has been beautifully explained in Surah Nur. Surah Nur has said beautifully in that in your heart there is Allahu nuru samawati wal ardi wa mathalu nurihi ka mishkatin fiha misbah. So there is a niche in every human being. Let me make it a bit bigger. There is a niche, yeah? A niche, niche, like a mihrab in the masjid, yeah? Where you stand, niche. And in this niche, fiha misbah, there is a lamp. There is a lamp. Yeah, a lamp. Al-misbah fi zujaja. This lamp is inside a glass. Yes? Al-misbah fi zujaja. الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة. There is an oil, blessed oil. There is a lamp that burns in a glass which is in a niche. This oil is the oil of your fitra that is burning the instincts of gratitude, higher being, morality. It is in your heart. The glass is your heart, qalb. This is your diaphragm, if you like. Is that the right spelling of diaphragm?
No.
What's the right spelling? Diaphragm. How do you spell it? Is it this?
Ragam.
Yeah.
This one? Diaphragm. Yeah? This is the light inside the person, the guiding light, fitra. Inside your heart, not your physical heart, but your spiritual heart, which is inside the human. In Surah Nur. So there is a lamp in every human being, light. Yes? And this lamp and this light, what is that after that? يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار. The lamp and the light and the flame in this person it is highly, highly, highly flammable. It is looking for any light. Yes? Just like, when you go to the petrol station, you should extinguish any light, any flame, and you shouldn't even use your mobile phone because it can catch fire. Because the fuel is very highly flammable. It will, as if it will jump to the flame rather than the flame coming to it. Yeah? So this fitrah, it is always looking for the guidance. And this guidance is the guidance of Allah, which comes in the form of the revelation. And then when these two lights, they meet, the internal light with the external light, this lamp inside the human being, yes, when it meets the revelation from Allah, yes, that comes down, the light, then this becomes light upon light, nurun ala nur. And in this light now, you know exactly everything and its right place. You see? You know the place of Allah, you know the place of the creation, you know the place of your own relative importance in this whole creation, and you know exactly what is not, and where you're headed. Nurun ala nur. This is the need for our fitrah, for revelation.
Which ayah is this?
This is ayah number 35, I think. Surah Nur, ayah 35. This is the need for light, revelation. Every human being has this affinity for it, longing for it, yearning for it, need for it. And okay, so we need this revelation. Now there's more detail, but I'm not going to go into it because otherwise we go into that more than we need to. Yeah. Is there any question at this point? Is that enlightening? Inshallah.
Another thing though,
Yes.
there's two ayahs,
Yes.
and they both ended with they shall not grieve. No shall they grieve.
La khawfun alayhim wa la hum
Is there any
yahzanun.
context or anything behind?
Yes, that's coming. So, وَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Allah Ta'ala, He has said in Surah Al-Baqarah in the beginning, when Adam and Hawa and Iblis came down to earth, Allah Ta'ala then said, after you have now come to earth and you have the instincts, fitrah, when my guidance now comes to you, revelation, if you follow it, you will have light upon light. If you have light upon light, you will do everything with knowledge from Allah. You will have no grief, you will have no fear. You will not grieve of anything you have done before, and you will have no fear of the bad consequence, because you will follow the right path. So that is talking about that revelation. If you follow it, then you have no issue. Which means if you don't follow it, you have an issue. People say, I'm a good person, I don't have to follow any religion. I am a good person, I don't hurt anybody. So they have their own understanding of what is good and bad, which is based on their intellect and their senses. But we said that they are limited. The absolute knowledge is with Allah, which He has revealed in the Quran and in His other revelations before that. So it's absolutely relevant to it. Okay, Bismillah. Wahi, linguistically, yeah, it means to send a sign, send a signal, to speak quietly so that others are unable to intercept, like encrypted messages. And to place it in the heart directly, it can mean. And to do so quickly and swiftly. So these are all linguistic dimensions of the word wahi. Wahi. So wahi that we are referring to is, of course, the communication from Allah to His prophets through the agent of an angel, Jibreel alayhi salam in this case. So the definition of wahi in one of the books is Kalamullah al-munazzal ala nabiyyin min anbiya'ihi, which means the speech of Allah, and you have already studied the speech of Allah, revealed to or upon His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is one of the prophets. So this is wahi technically. The speech of Allah revealed upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is one of the prophets, and he is the last prophet, Khatam al-Nabiyyin, and he has said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, La Nabiyya ba'di, no prophet after me. Prophethood has come to its climax, its zenith, its perfection, and its end with Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. This is the wahi we are talking about, because this is ulum al-Quran. The wahi here we are focusing on is Quran, the final wahi. So I need to go back to the slide before that. So this word wahi has been used in the Quran in many ways. Yeah. So it has been used in the Quran in Surah Maryam to show the giving of a sign through sign language. Yes, sign language. Like it says, yeah, I can do it on my laptop. Why do I need to look there? Alhamdulillah. Maryam 11. So Maryam, Surah Maryam, Ayah 11, which is saying about Zakaria alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala, He said, فَخَرَجَ عَلَى قَوْمِهِ مِنَ الْمِحْرَابِ فَأَوْحَى إِلَيْهِمْ. So when Zakaria came out of his prayer chamber, he فَأَوْحَى إِلَيْهِمْ, he signaled to them. Yes, he signaled to them. Okay? So this is one use of the word wahi in the Quran. Signaled. He signaled. And then another use of this word wahi in Surah An-Nahl, very famous, and you know this, in Surah An-Nahl, the bee that has been inspired by Allah. Where is Nahl, Abdullah? Oh, there it is. Nahl, ayah 67. فَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ. You see, أَوْحَى. And your Lord inspired the bee. Yes? It doesn't mean that Allah sent the revelation in terms of the book, does it? It means inspiration to the bee. What is the inspiration? That you take from amongst the mountains and houses. You make houses in the mountains and the trees. Yes? So Allah, He has put the instinct in the bee to know how to be a bee. Yes, be a bee. So the bees, they know exactly how to construct this perfectly geometrical shape, which is most perfect, and it is the most efficient and the most robust, and the most effective for their whole beehive collecting of the nectar and producing honey, etc., etc. And this is Allah Ta'ala's wahi to them, inspiration, meaning He has put this in their fitrah. Yes? So these are the manifestation of Allah Ta'ala's guidance. It's amazing. You should study about the bees. You should watch the documentary about the bee colonies. Not the bee movie. There's the guardian bees, there's the queen bee, then there are the collector bees, then they have a communication channel, etc., etc. It's fascinating. Sophisticated network, more sophisticated than any of the networks we have at the moment. We are learning from them.
The shapes of their little holes.
Absolutely. The beehive shape is the most geometrically efficient shape. It needs the least material to make it, and it's the most robust. And they're all identical. So how you can deny Allah Ta'ala? Huh? You can, but how you can deny this? So Allah Ta'ala, He is inspiring the bee. Another form it takes in An'am 112 and 121. An'am 112 and 21. This is the wahi of shaitan. زخرف القول وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا. And thus we have made for every prophet an enemy, devils from mankind and jinn, inspiring to one another. Yes? Yes? Inspiring to one another, decorative speech. Yes, so the word here, yuhi. Yuhi, inspiration, inspiring people. Planning, plotting. Yes. Just to get a flavor of the wahi has been used in so many words in the Quran, so you appreciate the word inshallah. Surah Anfal, ayah 12. Allah Ta'ala mentions here regarding the angels, is yuhi rabbuka ilal malaikati. And when Allah, He inspired to the angels, so He has informed the angels, I am with you. So strengthen those who have believed. So this is Allah Ta'ala communicating with the angels. That this is your job, you have to go down to help the believers. Ayah 12 of Al-Anfal. Yeah. And the last ayah from Qasas, ayah 7. Wait. And Allah Ta'ala, He inspired the mother of Musa to put him into the basket. So He put this feeling in her. Yeah. So different uses of the word in the Quran. There are more in the book, so that will be part of your reading. So I'm not keeping everything as the book. I'm trying to give you something overlaps with the book, but then the book gives you something different and more, so that you get it. You inshallah get more information. We've looked at the technical definition of wahi. 3 forms of wahi have been given in the book I'll be looking at. It essentially has categorized it into 3 main forms of wahi, and then you can see the subcategories. So the form of wahi qalbi means that Allah Ta'ala, He has directly sent something to the Prophet ﷺ's heart. So in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it mentions nafatha fi rawhi, that Allah Ta'ala sent this blew into my heart. You know, you sometimes get a feeling, or you can get information that is in your heart. Now we can't appreciate that, of course, as much, but we know the concept. And Allah Ta'ala, He puts it into the heart of a person.
Does that include dreams?
So yes, so this would be the true dreams, which is number 4, with D here, and it would be F, place it in the heart. Those 2, if you like, qalbi is true dreams and placing it into your heart. Yeah. And then you have the kalam of Allah, the speech of Allah, which is of course the speech of Allah there. Yeah. And then the angel, when it comes, it can be that it comes and there's a sound of ringing of a bell. The angel came as a human, or the angel came as the angel itself in its form, true form. Yes. So regarding the ringing of a bell, the Prophet ﷺ says that this was the most difficult type of revelation wahi. Yes, the ringing of a bell, the scholars say, it may mean that because the sound never stopped, therefore it was mentioned as the ringing of a bell. It was continuous. Or it may be because the ringing of the bell, it was so loud and so continuous that you lose the direction of the sound, and you cannot pinpoint where is the sound coming from. It could mean that, the scholars say it could possibly, we don't know. So when the Prophet ﷺ said the ringing of a bell, he didn't explain what does it mean by the ringing of a bell. Yeah? But this was the most difficult. And the Sahaba have mentioned in the hadith that you would read, that when he used to go through this, he would sweat profusely, even in the cold winter days. And it was difficult for him. And the companion also say sometimes we would be with the Prophet ﷺ, and when the revelation comes, we would hear a sound similar to the buzzing of bees. Yes. Allah knows the kayfiyah, what is the kayf, we don't know. Khair. Angel as a human, we know that Jibreel Islam came in the Hadith Jibreel, very famous Hadith of Imam Nawawi's 40 Hadith Sahih. And the person came who was not known by anybody but had very clear signs of travel. And the person, he asked the Prophet some key questions about Islam, Iman, Ihsan, and the hour. And when he left, the Prophet asked, do you know who that was? And they responded, Allah and His Prophet know better. The Prophet said, this was Jibreel who came to teach you your deen. So he came in the form of a human being. But he also came as an angel in his own form, kama huwa, as he is. it is narrated in the, if you look at the beginning of the revelation, etc., you may look at that. That when the Prophet ﷺ saw Jibreel salam in his true angelic form, he covered the horizon completely. And he saw him like that twice, as he is Jibreel salam. So he would sometimes, this is rare though, this is only 2, maybe 3 times that Jibreel salam came in his real form. And then we know the true dreams, and the true dreams are the beginning of the wahi and the risala of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the beginning, he would see dreams that he would see them happening in real life in the day. So to prepare him that what I dream happens, what I dream happens. It's like preparing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you, when the revelation comes, it won't be too much of a shock. Yeah. Just like there are dreams. The dream of Ibrahim alayhi salam, that he saw himself slaughtering Ismail, and the dream of Yusuf alayhi salam, and then the dream of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entering into Makkah, and then after that Sulh Hudaybiyah, etc. So the dreams are the true dreams of prophets, are also revelation from Allah. Yeah, unlike our dreams, we don't know. Yeah, anyway. The other thing about dreams is there are 40 parts of the Nabuwa and 1/40th is dreams, true dreams, and that is still something that is with us as human beings. We can have true dreams, which are inspired. But I'm not going to get into that because then there are different types of dreams. Inspired by Allah, inspired by Shaitan, and then there's hodgepodge we don't know about, etc. So that's a whole science of dream interpretation. Yeah. True dreams. Kalam Allah, the Kalam of Allah. When Allah Ta'ala, He has spoken to the Prophet ﷺ, like Musa ﷺ was spoken to, Kallam Allah Musa Taklima. And when the Prophet ﷺ received the ayat of Al-Baqarah, the last 2 ayat in Mi'raj from Allah Ta'ala, most people say that it was from behind a screen, min wara'i hijab. Yes, and there is a very, very key ayah for this. This is the end of which surah? Find it. It's in the book anyway. If you look in the book, maybe. That it is not befitting a human being that Allah would speak to the person except in 3 cases. What is it, Abdullah? Ali Imran?
No.
Not Ali. No, not Ali Imran. It's one of the last ayat.
Surah Shura.
Shura.
Ayah 51.
51. Good. So ayah 51 says that it is not for any human being that Allah should speak to him except, number 1, by revelation, wahyan. Number 2, min wara'i hijab, which means Allah Ta'ala speaks to the person directly but from behind the screen. Number 3, aw yursila rasulan, or he sends a messenger, which means Jibreel alayhi salam. Yes? Yes, key ayah for this subject. In Surah Shura, ayah 51. So these are the different forms in which the wahi took place. Wahi has come to an end with the Prophet ﷺ. There's no more wahi. Yes, but there can be inspiration. Yes, like ilham. or kashf, that a person may receive some indication of something, but this is limited to the person, him or herself. It does not apply to anybody else. So you can't start publicizing and applying it to everybody. Oh, I had a dream that we should do this, we should do that. No. This could be for you specifically. And this is not something unknown. But it does not then become law. Yeah. And then the other thing to mention is that there are two types of wahi. I mentioned it before. Wahi jali, wahi khafi. The wahi matlu, ghair matlu. One wahi is Quran. The other wahi is Sunnah. There are two types of wahi, revelation to the Prophet ﷺ. One is the wahi jali. Jali means clear, obvious, apparent. Yes? Explicit. And then the other is the hidden, the khafi, which is the sunnah of Rasulullah that Allah Ta'ala He revealed to him, but it is not part of the Quran. It is not recited as the Quran is recited. It is not recited. Are they ready? Okay. So with that, we will come to the end of just this for now. And inshallah, your homework would be to read the section in the book on the chapter of Wahi. Make your notes, 61 to 72. And I will send you the link, I think video 4 for Yasir Qadi, inshallah. And we will spend another lesson on this topic of Wahi. And then after that, we will have a test. Jazakumullah khair.